Hello, my name is Gerald Huebner. I'm on the board of HSLDA Canada, and I want to thank you today for your support of the work of CCHE in advancing home education freedom across Canada and around the world. We as a family are privileged to live in Manitoba, where home education has always been legal. This is not the case in all parts of Canada, and certainly not the case in many parts of the world today. Home education has grown across the world this past year, and we've seen great numbers of families, certainly in Canada, but all around the world, moving to home education and experiencing the joy of home education as a family. It's been so great to hear about that. CCHE is focused on several projects globally. CCHE has directly assisted home education leaders in Hungary as they've worked to establish a national home education organization. We know from our experience in Canada how important that is. Bev and I, in November of 2012, traveled to Hungary and were able to meet with families, with home education leaders, and we spoke at their national homeschool conference and were able to encourage homeschool families to keep on going. Your support of CCHE has been critical to the Hungarian homeschoolers and the Hungarian organization, encouraging the continuation of home education. Home education in Hungary has been under attack. It's been tough for them, and it continues to be very hard. But CCHE's support has encouraged them to continue as leaders and as families, to continue to support and advance home education. CCHE is now providing support to the Homeschool Uganda group, known as HUG, which is the national organization in Uganda. CCHE support is giving needed encouragement and enables practically the training of families across Uganda, and is supporting curriculum development efforts as well as just the work and development work and advocacy work of the Homeschool Uganda group. Peter Stock and Russ Hebert were able to encourage Ugandan leaders as they attended the Pan-African Homeschool Conference in 2019. And it's been great to hear about the developments that are happening during this time of pandemic homeschooling, even in Uganda. In addition to Hungary and Uganda, CCHE has supported the encouragement and development efforts in several Eastern European countries, Ukraine, Belarus, and the Republic of Georgia. We've been involved in meeting with families across those countries and speaking at conferences, in meeting with government officials, and we've seen great growth in home education in Ukraine and Belarus in particular. And they have plans for a national conference as soon as their restrictions allow them in both countries. We've been so encouraged by the development of leaders in these two countries as they have gone from starting home education themselves to encouraging other families and speaking at their conferences and meetings. We've seen the growth happen from a very small handful of families to hundreds of families and support groups in many, many cities. CCHE efforts globally are centered through the Global Home Education Exchange Council, which in the fall of 2020 organized the 4th annual Global Homeschool Conference. The previous global conferences, which were exciting, happened in Berlin, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and in Moscow and St. Petersburg, Russia. These conferences saw growth every time, and it was such an encouragement to meet with the families from around the world. The 2020 conference attracted people from over 60 countries, with people coming as home education families, leaders, legislators, and policymakers, and researchers. CCHE is involved both through Peter Stock and I being involved in the global board. I want to thank you for supporting CCHE and enabling the advancement of home education across Canada, but also around the world. Your contribution is enabling CCHE to make a difference, and you're part of it. I want to thank you for it.